been about growing, and I'm just so thankful that it's led me to this point here in Seattle.
The Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
The Patriots are used to winning.
The Patriots are Super Bowl champions.
It's a new era that we're trying to build, get back to what they created.
I ain't coming far, just to come this far. Touchdown! You got to be kidding me! Perfect pass by Sam Darnold. Holy catfish! Ooh, let's go! Hell yeah! Hey, we're only got to the Super Bowl, baby!
It truly is Groundhog's Day because we have our champ talking about the Patriots being back in a Super Bowl. Damien Woody, good morning to you. What advice do you have for first-timers during Super Bowl week?
Yeah, how about keeping the main thing the main thing? You know, when you talk about the Super Bowl, you have all the pageantry, the tickets, all the things that come with the game that really doesn't matter much as far as the game is concerned. Like, just keep the main thing the main thing. This is a unique opportunity, one that's not guaranteed that you'll ever get back to. And so just keep your focus on the game and trying to win the championship. Keep it as close to game week as possible as far as your preparation. Because once you're a champion, man, you are always a champion.
Come on. This is also the week that you start hearing from family you didn't even know you had. Hey, you got some extra tickets?
That is true.
Only 9 players between the two teams have Super Bowl experience going into this one.
Once upon a time, I asked Damien Woody about the security at the Super Bowl. We did that on the radio. You know what I'm talking about. He remembers. All right, David, what's the one thing besides security, obviously, that you're going to be watching for early in this game?
Yeah, how about Drake Maye legs? You know, I think the Seattle Seahawks defense is elite on all 3 levels. They can really get after the quarterback. And when you look at Drake Maye throughout the postseason, he's really utilized his legs, whether it's critical first downs or even scoring. So I think, you know, watching this early on in the game, how the Seattle Seahawks defense, you know, tries to apply a spy or someone to compensate for how Drake Maye uses his legs, I think is going to be critical in this game.
He is a rushing threat. He has led the team in rushing a few times this season. Damien Woody, we appreciate the insight on SportsCenter.
How different is it than a normal week?
You're like, thank God we're the game week. All the other nonsense. See, last week is about tickets, hotel, all that stuff.
And how hard is that?
It's just annoying.
Okay.
You know, because everybody's calling you and everybody wants this, and you just want to get back to your normal routine. So now, you know, both teams are there. You got media day. What today? I believe is Monday. Yep. I think Monday is media day, and then we're off and running after that. So as a player, you just look forward to this week.
Wait, just quick follow up on that. I know you're not going to out the person. Do you have a name of a person that still to this day you cannot believe actually called you for tickets when you were in the Super Bowl? Like, you're like, are you serious? I haven't spoken to you since 3rd grade, and now you're going to do that? Like, do you have people like that all of a sudden?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's bad.
It's bad. Like, people just come out of words for like years. You hadn't heard from in years. It's like, hey, I'm like, what the hell? How the hell did you get my number anyway? Right. Like, how did this happen? So, yeah, I hated like that in-between week of the Super Bowl.
Well, now that we are here the week of the Super Bowl, how concerned should Patriots fans be about Drake Maye's shoulder?
Well, listen, I think it bears watching. I know there's, you know, because of the Super Bowl, there will be a pool reporter at practice watching, seeing the reps. Vrabel and company won't be able to hide that. Mm-hmm. You know, so the pool reporter will see exactly how much work Drake Maye is doing. Listen, you're playing the Super Bowl. So I've always said, hell, you got the whole offseason to deal with that type of stuff. Do what you got to do, whatever you got to do. But that is to me is a big story until we see Drake Maye in practice and ultimately in the game playing.
Mm-hmm. We saw Clint Kubiak get hired by the Raiders, or at least agree to terms to become the Raiders head coach over the weekend. He had the final 2 picks. So it was the Raiders, the Cardinals. He chooses a place that he can go get the number 1 overall pick quarterback that he wants to work with, who we expect to be Fernando Mendoza. Like, how do you think he's going to fare in a place that has very quickly punted on head coaches the last couple of years, from Antonio Pierce to Pete Carroll? Like, do you think they actually express patience this time around?
I would hope so. They're paying like 5 different coaches. I mean, think about it. I think they're still paying John Gruden.
Yeah.
You know, from back in the day. Like that, it's insane what these owners are doing. They're making so much money that they can just dispose of these coaches whenever they want. And so if you're looking at here's the thing that I would say about Clint Kubiak. Obviously, hot name. son of Gary Kubiak, obviously one of the best offensive minds that we've, in decades, played with, that coached under Mike Shanahan in Denver Broncos and was a head coach. I will say this, look at the division that he's in. And that is going to be a heavy lift for him when you got, Jim Harbaugh, you got Andy Reid, and you got Sean Payton within your own division. It's going to be an uphill challenge for Clint Kubiak in Las Vegas. But, obviously they're going to probably draft Fernando Mendoza. You got Ashton Genting. You got Brock Bowers. You got three pieces there, but they need a lot of work in Las Vegas.
We're talking with ESPN NFL analyst Damien Woody here and on Sportsmanlike on ESPN Radio, presented by Progressive Insurance. I don't remember, correct? When you were with the Pats in the Super Bowl, was it the year? Were you there when Charlie Weiss and Romeo Cornell were leaving?
I was there with them.
Right, but I'm saying that last year when they knew that they had other jobs, because that's what the Seahawks are going through now with Kubiak. Yeah. Does that become a distraction at all, or
no?
You can go, it's fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like I don't expect anything to. I think Clint Kubiak will be locked in.
Okay.
Understanding the moment, understanding the fact that you don't get these opportunities often where you're playing in the Super Bowl and you have an opportunity to cement your own legacy. So I don't foresee that being any type of issue.
Weird one. Does Vrabel have Super Bowl experience? How you look at it now, coach versus player? Like, is it night and day different, or can he use that player experience?
Oh, he can definitely use it. Oh, absolutely. Because the one thing you talk about is like. Vrabel can talk about how, from a schedule standpoint, how he did it as a player. That's the thing that he has at his advantage is, listen, I played in a couple of these. I know what it's like. I can relate to you guys as far as preparation. Here's what I did as a player and relay that to this guy. So those are the kind of the little nuggets that, to me, play a part in the margins.
Speaking of relationships, let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings. They move on from their general manager, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, on Friday. What did you make of the decision and of the timing of the decision?
Well, to me, listen, everyone talks about the whole, the whole story comes out about paternity leave and all that. Listen, at the end of the day, it was about the quarterback. I think this whole thing was about Sam Darnold. The fact that Sam Darnold and some of his draft picks some of the draft classes weren't very good, but ultimately it was about the quarterback. We've seen what Sam Darnold has done, not only with Minnesota, but upon leaving Minnesota. And ultimately, I think the biggest story is what J.J. McCarthy hasn't done with the Minnesota Vikings. And so when you combine that, and obviously you look at the comments that Justin Jefferson made, when you add it all together, someone's going to take a fall. It's not going to be Kevin O'Connell, the head coach. It's going to be the general manager.
And there were multiple quarterback decisions that factored into why Kwesi Adofo-Mensah is not there. Obviously, the most notably is Sam Darnold. He's playing in a Super Bowl. This team could have re-signed him after last season, but they didn't. And it makes me wonder, Damien, when you take a look at how teams evaluate quarterbacks and, frankly, how quickly they give up on quarterbacks, whether it was the Jets, whether it was Carolina, and whether it was Minnesota, ultimately, before Darnold finds his home for what feels like it's going to be the long term in Seattle. Do you think that his situation is going to maybe give some teams pause about giving up on guys too soon?
No, not at all, because these owners are impatient. These owners are making so much money that they can discard of coaching staffs. And we all know when it comes to these quarterbacks, it's about infrastructure. Sam Darnold didn't arrive to where he's at just out of happenstance. There was a process. Started in San Francisco when he got to San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan. That kind of started the Sam Darnold on his road to where he is now. And then he goes to Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell, another really good offensive mind that had the proper infrastructure. Then he has the year that he had in Minnesota. And then he moves on to Seattle where, again, you had Clint Kubiak, you had a really good coaching staff and a really good team. And so all these things, all these steps led to where Sam Darnold is right now. But I think overall, Sam Darnold's story is not going to change what we're seeing in the National Football League as far as patience or impatience by these organizations.
I totally agree with you because I think you can make the argument. It's the weirdest thing. Both Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, Damien, have gotten so many coaches fired for both being bad and good. It's the weird, like if you think about some of these guys got fired because those guys weren't good. Some of these guys got fired because of the fact that they are good. I don't look at the Sam Darnold as the cautionary tale. I look at Tua as more of the cautionary tale of you don't have to extend if the extension is not a must, it's not an obvious, etc. I mean, when you're looking at Darnold, is it just right place, right time, like his career developed properly in a weird way?
Yeah, a lot of people say, oh, they, the Jets pulled the plug on Sam Darnold too soon. I think he had he played 36 games or 38 games with the New York Jets.
He wasn't good for the Jets.
Yeah, he just wasn't good. Now, the Jets played a huge part in that now, with the lack of infrastructure around him, but it wasn't because he didn't have enough body of work. He had plenty of, body of work. It just didn't work out. Again, when it comes to these quarterbacks, it's all about what organization you are with. I keep saying this word, the infrastructure that these quarterbacks are surrounded with, and that's why you see a guy like Drake Maye. Think about it. 4-13 last year. You saw flashes from Drake Maye. Not like this. Then in comes Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniels. Then all of a sudden, Drake Maye has an opportunity to win MVP this year. I mean,
and a Super Bowl.
And the Super Bowl. Like, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, so we're talking about patience, and obviously a lot of organizations did not have patience with their head coaches this year. We saw an incredible cycle. But now that all the jobs are filled or presumably filled, in your opinion, what is the best head coaching hire that was made, and which one do you think won't work out?
Wow. That's a good one. I tend to lean towards John Harbaugh. There's some, as far as the best, because obviously the experience of John Harbaugh, and I think he's been a winner. And I look at the Giants. The Giants could easily be one of those worst to first type teams. Like they could do it. I'm a big believer in Jackson Dart. I think Jackson Dart can be a player. Big-time player in the National Football League. Actually, his numbers are eerily similar to Drake Maye. If you line them up, they're really similar. The Giants have a lot of pieces. They do. They just need the right coach to really get those guys playing the way they should. So for me, I think John Harbaugh, I like that one. The worst one, Mike LaFleur, and it's not a shot at Mike LaFleur being hired by the Arizona Cardinals. I just don't know, what are they going to do at quarterback? You got Kyler Murray. You're going to have to make a decision on Kyler Murray. My thinking is they probably going to either cut him or try to trade him. And where do you go? Where do you go where do you go for the Arizona Cardinals? Again, look at their division.
3 playoff teams.
There's 3 playoff teams in that division. It's gonna be tough sledding for Mike LaFleur and with the Arizona Cardinals.
Damien Woody, you're going to see him on SportsCenter.